Question number 14 is asking us to expand and simplify fully the square root of 10 plus the square root of 2, all multiplied by the square root of 15, subtract the square root of 3. So it's asked us to give our answer in the form a root b, where a and b are integers. So that's why a and b are whole numbers. So we need to expand square root of 10 plus square root of 2. Expand the double brackets. Square root of 15 minus square root of 3. Now I'm going to, whether you want to utilise the eyebrows, nose and mouth method to get a smiley face, or whether you would like to use grid multiplication, which I'm going to utilise here, is entirely up to you. Now I'm going to have the square root, write my first bracket on the top, the square root of 10, which is positive, multiplied by, plus the square root of 2, and that's all multiplied by the square root of 15, which is positive, subtract the square root of 3. So we're now going to multiply these terms together. Square root of 15 times by the square root of 10. I'll get the sign first, will be positive. Square root of 150. Square root of 2 times by square root of 15. Both terms are positive, so we can give a positive answer. 2 times 15 is 30, square root of 30. Minus root 3 times by positive root 10 is going to give us a negative answer. And inside the square root, we're going to have 3 times 10 is 30. And finally, minus root 3 times positive root 2 is going to give us a negative answer. Inside the square root will be 3 times 2 is 6. So we're now going to collect our terms together here. So we're going to have square root of 150 is positive, plus the square root of 30 in the top right hand corner, negative square root of 30, which is minus square root of 30 minus the square root of 6. So we can see that our top right hand corner and our bottom left hand corner, positive root 30 subtract root 30, they're going to cancel each other out. So these two terms in the middle are going to cancel one another out, because plus root 30 minus root 30 is 0. So we're going to be left with square root of 150 subtract the square root of 6. Now we're looking to see if we can find a square number that divides exactly into 150, and there is one, which is 25. So 25 times 6 is 150. Let's still subtract the square root of 6. Now the square root of 25 is 5, so we can take 5 outside our square root. So 5 root 6 subtract the square root of 6 gives us our answer of 4 root 6. And that is written in the form a root b, where actually a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 6. So a equals 4, b equals 6. But our answer that we're asked for is to write 4 square root of 6. Now if you had utilised the eyebrows, nose and mouth method for expanding the bracket, you'd have ended up with the first brow being square root of 150, and then you've had the second brow is root 2 times root 3 would give you the minus root 6. If you did the nose, you'd have plus the square root of 30, and if you did the mouth, you'd have negative square root of 30. So you can see that either method that you used, this method, that would have cancelled with that. You'd still have been left with 150, square root of 150 minus square root of 6, and you'd have carried on the same there to give your answer 4 square root of 6.